What is up, YouTube? JankyYGO here. My name is Michael, and today we have more cards to talk about, but it's not from the Machina this time. It is from a new thing called Eldlich. The first card we're going to talk about is Eldlich the Golden Lord, which is a level 10 light zombie effect monster with 2500 attack, 2800 defense, with the following effect. You can only use each of this card's effects name once per turn. You send this card and one spell and trap card from your hand to the graveyard, then target one card on the field, send that card to the graveyard. Second effect is if this card is in your graveyard, you can send one spell or trap card you control to the graveyard, add this card to your hand, then special summon one zombie monster from your hand. Also, that monster gains 1000 attack, cannot be destroyed by card effects until the end of your opponent's turn. Okay, it summons itself. You can Foolish Burial it. You discard it or whatever. Because it doesn't say another zombie, and as it's resolving, you add it to your hand from your graveyard, throw it down. It's a big beat stick. It has protection. It's not a horrible card. I don't know if it's good enough, but it's not horrible. Next up, Cursed Eldorlando. That's an Eldorado reference. Continuous spell card. You can only use card's second and third effect once per turn each. Its first effect is you cannot attack with monsters except for zombie monsters. Its second effect is pay 800 life points, add one eldlich monster or golden land spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent from your spell or trap card to the graveyard, you can send one eldlich monster or golden land spell or trap card from your deck to the graveyard. It's a Foolish Burial of sorts. It works with the Golden Lord, and it's a search card. Its downside is it pretty restricts you and forces you to only use zombie monsters, but so does Unizombie, and that's not really that big of a downside. Next up, this card's pretty good though. Next card is Elixir of Black Awakening is the English translation. You can only use either of this card's first or second effect once per turn and only once that turn. Special summon one zombie monster from your hand or deck in defense position. If you do not control eldlich monster, you can only special summon an eldlich monster with this effect for the rest. This turn, after this card's effect, you cannot special summon monsters except for zombie monsters. It's just awkwardly placed on this website. So it summons one for the deck. Okay. You banish this card from your graveyard, set one golden land spell or trap card directly from your deck to the field. Alright. It's not that bad of a card. Like I said, like all these cards kind of like force you to stay with zombies, but that's not that big of a deal because zombies are pretty good. Just there's a lot of really good zombies now, so yeah, like this card doesn't seem bad. The only downside is that you can't use like both effects in the turn. You can only use uh one. So that's kind of the downside, but that's another downside to the card, but yeah. Next is Elixir of White Fate. It's a quick play spell card. You can only use this card's names, its first and second effects once per turn and only once that turn. And its first effect is special summon a zombie from your hand or graveyard, and if you do not control, you have to summon an elder. Okay, so it's like the same thing, but it's only hand or graveyard, where the other one was hand or deck. This is still a fine card. This is a quick play as well, so you can summon it on your opponent's turn. And the banishing part, because of the way Yu-Gi-Oh works, you can actually banish from your graveyard on your opponent's turn, so it actually kind of helps. It helps a little bit more. So like on the end phase, so you can activate this on your turn, this one right here, and then on their turn, activate like the end step if you want a spell card or trap, doesn't really matter. You can use the graveyard effect, or vice versa. You can set this card and then use it to kind of like save yourself by throwing out a monster, and then on your turn you can banish it and set one of the Golden Land spell or trap cards from your deck, which is pretty cool. So this one is, I kind of like it a little bit better. I know that the other one summons from the deck, but I like this one better just because it's a quick play and you can banish it from the graveyard at spell speed 2. So yeah, next is Elixir of Red Splatter. Normal trap card. Special summon one zombie from your deck or graveyard in defense position. If you do not control eldlich monster, you have to summon it, and you can only summon zombies for the rest of the turn. You can banish. Okay, so this one is a trap card version of Black Awakening, which I don't know why you wouldn't just play the Black Awakening over the Red Splatter. Like, I guess it goes back to the whole graveyard thing, how you can banish it, do that. So I guess you could save it that way. But I usually like these more. It's like they summon. Sorry, they summon in defense position, so it's hard to OTK. But I still like this one more because it's a more proactive thing than a reactive thing, as trap cards normally are. And having to wait like a full turn cycle to use this trap card, not going to be ideal. How? Oh wait, this is deck or graveyard, and this one's hand or deck. Okay, so I guess it's like, I guess the best parts of these two. Still, I don't really like this card that much. You're probably gonna get it from the deck like more times than not. And while you can get the banish effect from the graveyard on your opponent's turn, I still don't think it's really worth it to run in the deck. But maybe this is a slower deck where the trap cards are necessary. So if that is the case, then this is probably a 3 of. Next up, Guardian of the Golden Land. You can use trap card. You only use either of this card's names for second effect once per turn, only once a turn. Summon this card to your monster zone as a normal monster, zombie 8. Zombie light, level 8, 800 attack, 2500 defense. Those are the trap card. If you control no others, you can make one. Oh, then if you control Elder, the Golden Lord, you can make one face-up monster attack 0. During the end phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Set one Elixir spell or trap card directly from the deck. Okay, so apparently these get the continuous trap cards, and the continuous trap cards get the non-continuous trap cards, so like the spell cards and the normal trap. Okay, it so with that information, this is gonna be like one of those set 5 pass type decks, and then you kind of do your own thing. Okay, you know what? That makes Elixir of Red Splatter a little bit better, because if you're gonna have to play a lot of trap cards anyway, it makes this effect a lot better. Okay. Uh, Next up, Hayakura, the Golden Land. So it's a trap monster again with 1800 attack. You can banish one card from either player's graveyard if you control the Golden Lord. During your main phase, during the end phase, you can banish the card from your graveyard. Okay. This one says during the end phase too, right? So yeah, if these are in your graveyard, you just set one of the other two, which means that this, now that I think about it, these two are even better because they're quick plays and you get them during the end phase. Uh, so you can like Foolish Burial of Goods. When it sends spell and trap cards, send one of these and then set these two, and then you can instantly summon this dude right here. So yeah, okay, I get the theme of the deck. It's you have continuous trap monsters, you have a big zombie dude, and if they have the big zombie dude, they have effects, and the spell and trap cards kind of search themselves out. Okay, this one, another trap monster, but this one only has 500 attack, 1800 defense. If you control Eldlich, the Golden Lord, you can destroy a face-up card, and it still has the in-phase effect that the other continuous trap cards have. Okay. Uh, Next up is Everglorious the Golden Land. The Everglorious Golden Land. You can only activate one card name per turn. If you control the Ellis monster, tribute one zombie monster, negate the activation, and destroy it. So it's an Infernity barrier, which you have to tribute a zombie. And you have to have an Eldritch monster, so it kind of restricts it. This card's pretty good. Almost most of the time, Infernity barriers are good cards, as we call them. The Yu-Gi-Oh community calls them Infernity barriers because Infernity barriers were the first to have kind of like this solemn judgment like effect, where it just negates almost everything. And yeah, that's fine. It's a fine card, and you can get it from these, which is even better. Like activating this or getting this on your end phase, I guess, setting it. Like it's it's just pretty good. Just the fact that you can get this right from the deck is really good. You might not be able to activate it right away with the cards in the deck, but you could use like a trap trick, or you can use trap trick to get it immediately if you really need the activation now. Next up is Dorado Adelante, Adelantado. It's a normal trap card. You can only activate this card in one turn. If you control an Eldritch monster, you can activate one of the effects. Shuffle 3 of your banished Eldritch spell trap cards with different names, and if you do, destroy all cards on the field. Shuffle 3 of your banished golden spells, and if you do have your opponent's life points, then gain life points equal to the opponent's loss. I like this card. I actually, since this deck is revolved around traps, and I know that, I like this card because the trap cards are going to banish themselves, the spell cards are going to banish themselves, and flipping this when you need to just destroy everything on the field could be a lifesaver. And the fact that it recycles and it also you want your cards in the graveyard because they all have like stuff to do in the graveyard is another thing. And it can also like get you out of a bind, and can win you time in time. It can win you the game. Uh, we have a Unizombie reprint is why this card's here. And yeah, that's it for the Eldlich deck. It looks interesting. I don't know if it'll be meta or not. I don't think it will, but it does look interesting. That's it for. But you guys can tell me what you think in the comment section below. But that is it for today. If it is your birthday today, happy birthday. If you want to send us any cool deck profiles or replays, our email's in the description as always. And of course, have a wonderful day.